On a 9th October, something within you begins to shift quietly, powerfully, and without noise. The energy of this day carries a message. Acceptance is the key that opens the door to healing. For too long, you fought against what already happened. You've replayed the same moments, questioned the same decisions, and held on to pain that no longer belongs in your present. But 9th October arrives as a reminder that what's done is done, and peace begins the moment you stop resisting it. Acceptance isn't weakness, it's strength in its purest form. It's not giving up, it's waking up. When you accept your past, you reclaim your power from it. You stop being the victim of old stories and start becoming the author of new ones. The truth is, the past cannot hurt you anymore unless you continue feeding it your energy. Every time you revisit what broke you, you give it life again. But on the 9th of October, you are invited to breathe differently, to think differently, to choose differently. You no longer need to carry what has already served its purpose. Acceptance is not the end of something. It's the beginning of everything that's waiting to bloom. This day calls you to look at your scars without shame. They are not signs of defeat, but evidence of your survival. What hurt you once taught you what strength truly means. Healing doesn't mean erasing your story, it means reading it with new eyes. You begin to see that every loss, every mistake, every ending was necessary for you to evolve into who you are now. On the 9th of October, you are reminded that pain is not the opposite of growth, it's the soil from which growth rises. You cannot find the light without first facing the dark that shaped you. Acceptance is an act of courage. It means choosing peace over control. You can no longer control what happened, but you can control how you carry it. When you stop fighting the past, your energy returns to the present. And that's where healing begins, right here, in this moment, on this day. Every breath you take today is a step closer to freedom from the weight you once carried. You start to see that nothing external has the power to break you unless you give it permission. 90 October marks the end of resistance. It whispers, love, let go, not because you are weak, but because you are ready. Ready to stop reliving the same story. Ready to stop defining yourself by what was lost. Ready to make peace with yourself. You begin to see that acceptance is the highest form of wisdom. The quiet understanding that everything happens exactly as it should. Even when it doesn't make sense in the moment, you start to trust that life has never been against you, it has always been shaping you. You don't need to fix the past to move forward. You just need to stop carrying it. The moment you accept what happened, the energy that was stuck begins to move again. You start to breathe lighter, think clearer, and feel deeper. Your focus shifts from what you can't change to what you can create. On the 9th October, you are given a choice: remain chained to what broke you or rise from it. The healing you seek doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from surrendering to the truth that you are no longer the same person who was hurt. You've evolved beyond that moment, even if you haven't realized it yet. Acceptance means taking back your attention from pain and redirecting it toward growth. It means understanding that every ending was preparing you for a new beginning. The people who left, the doors that closed, the things that didn't work out, they all made space for something greater. The energy of 9th October is the energy of release. It tells you to unclench your heart, to exhale what's heavy, and to walk forward without fear. Because everything that was taken from you will return in another form. Softer, truer, wiser. Healing is not about forgetting what happened. It's about no longer being controlled by it. Acceptance transforms pain into power, chaos into clarity. You start to see that your life isn't falling apart. It's realigning. What's gone was never meant to stay. What's meant for you cannot miss you. And on this day, you finally begin to believe it. The heaviness that once defined you starts to lift. You begin to breathe again, not just with your lungs, but with your spirit. 9th October stands as a symbolic moment of rebirth. A day where the weight of yesterday loses its hold. When you accept your story, you reclaim your peace. You stop needing explanations, apologies, or closure from others because you've already given those things to yourself. You realize that the only closure you ever needed was acceptance. And from that acceptance, your strength grows silently, like light breaking through after a long storm. Every moment of your life, even the painful ones, has been preparing you for this awareness. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is meaningless. You are not broken, and you are becoming whole again. You are no longer running from what hurt you. You are walking with it. Calmly, gracefully, without fear. And that is the power of this day. So on 9th of October, stop resisting, stop replaying, stop carrying what isn't yours anymore. Instead, breathe, stand still, and accept. The healing begins the moment you do. The past can no longer touch you because you've stepped out of its shadow. You are not the same. You are stronger, clearer, and finally free. What you thought was gone forever was never lost. It was waiting for you to return to yourself. And now, on this day, you have. On the 9th of October, life brings you a reminder that pain was never sent to destroy you. It was sent to awaken you. The moments that broke you open were not punishment. They were preparation. Every tear, every loss, every silence was shaping something stronger inside of you. On this day, the truth becomes clear. Pain is not the enemy. It is a teacher that speaks in a language only the soul can understand. It doesn't come to hurt you. It comes to show you what you still need to release, what you still need to learn, and who you are becoming through the process. On the 9th October, look back at everything that once made you fall to your knees. Notice how you survived it. Notice how, even when you thought it was over, life kept moving through you. That strength you carry now was born in those dark hours. The lessons you live by today were shaped in the fire of your suffering. Pain refines you the way heat refines gold, burning away the false, revealing what's real. You can't see your power until life tests it. You can't feel your strength until something challenges it. This day carries the energy of understanding. You begin to see that nothing in your life happened by accident. The heartbreak, the disappointment, the failures, they were all part of a greater design, a silent training for your soul. On 9th October, you are invited to stop asking why it happened and start seeing what it taught you. The universe doesn't waste pain. Every struggle comes with a message, and that message always leads you back to yourself. There is no growth in comfort. The most beautiful versions of you are born when you are uncomfortable, uncertain, and raw. Pain forces you to stop pretending, to stop running, to face your truth. It strips away what's temporary so that what's real can stand. On the 9th of October, allow yourself to see pain not as punishment but as transformation. It's the moment when your old self begins to fade and your true self starts to rise. What once broke you open was never meant to end you. It was meant to begin you. You see, when life is easy, you don't question, you don't look deeper. You drift, but when life hurts, you awaken. Pain has a way of pulling you back to awareness, of grounding you in what truly matters. The people who hurt you taught you where your boundaries needed to be. The failures taught you what you were capable of overcoming. The endings taught you that nothing is permanent, and that's what gives life its beauty. And 9th October becomes a symbol of this awakening, a reminder that even your hardest moments were seeds planted for your evolution. Growth does not happen in light alone. It needs shadow. It needs pressure. It needs silence. You become who you are meant to be, not when everything is perfect, but when everything feels impossible, and yet you still rise. That's the lesson of 9th October. You rise not in spite of pain, but because of it. Pain breaks the illusions. It teaches humility. It brings awareness. It teaches you to trust the unseen. It softens the heart and sharpens the spirit. There are two ways to face pain: resist it or learn from it. Resistance keeps you stuck. Learning transforms you. When you resist, the suffering continues. When you accept it as a teacher, you step into freedom. On this day, stop fighting what hurt you. look at it, understand it, and take its lesson. Because every lesson ignored will repeat until it's understood. But once you learn, the same pain no longer has power over you. 9th October is the day you decide to stop running and start growing. You will notice that once you change your view of pain, everything changes with it. Instead of saying, "Why me?" you begin to say, "Thank you for showing me what needed to change." Pain reveals your blind spots. It shows you where you've been asleep. It calls you back to discipline, awareness, and inner strength. When you see pain as a guide, it becomes a sacred ally, the force that pushes you closer to your purpose. On the 9th October, you remember that the most valuable